Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about how to reset your health and energy within the next 2 weeks. I've had so many conversations lately, and I want to begin this whole broadcast by saying, please be kind to yourself. 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 Write it down, record it as a mantra. These are such unusual times, and there should be less judging harshly of ourselves and other people. So let me just begin with my public service announcement to be kinder to yourself and to the people around you. Everyone's doing the best they can. I know I've had tons of conversations about how people are feeling. Some people are feeling really discouraged. Some people are feeling super hopeful. Some are feeling like they don't have energy and they're absolutely exhausted every day because they are just feeling so weary from the uncertainty, from not being able to move around the planet the way that they've been used to or like to. Their food is all off, their sleeping is all off, they're in their heads all the time. I say they, I'm included in all this as well. So the struggle is real for everybody. And it just causes this general sense of feeling heavier or maybe a little stuck. And so I want to share with you some real simple strategies for getting back on track. And I also want to share with you a Kickstart program that I do a couple of times per year. And I want to get that started within the next couple of weeks to give people some relief before the summer starts. So good to see you here, Melissa. Thanks for joining. So let's begin with some really important information about how to approach where you're at right now. And that is just complete acceptance. So wherever you are today is perfect. Where you've been is perfect. It's all good. So come into this present moment and allow yourself without judgment to just be in a really good, easy place. You're going to learn some information and hopefully you'll be able to set some good things in motion within even today. You can start today and the Kickstart program will start shortly. So to come into this place of peace and ease, that it's all going to be fine. It is fine right now. And you're going to learn what you need to do to get back on track. So I want to begin with some simple strategies for sure, but I also want to talk about what blocks us from getting back on track. So I feel like so much of where we're at is just this repeat of worry or repeat of uncertainty, we'll say. So in the beginning, I talked about the mantra of just please let it be okay. You are okay. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people. Also, a great mindset shift right now is I'm going to get back on track easily. So we have this notion that things are so uncertain, we just don't know when we can resume our normal habits. Don't worry about your normal habits. I want to get you into habits that are going to help you be really successful for where you are right now. And those will carry into the next place. So you don't need to worry about the certainty of the world or the certainty of your schedule or anything else. I want you to take back your power and really come into this place of, I control me. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I have the ability to anyway. I control what I put in my mouth. I control what I purchase. I control how many steps I can get. I know that sounds odd because many of you are in apartments in our urban areas and you can't necessarily walk outside as freely as you'd like. But there are some things you can do even within your apartments or townhomes. So that mindset I invite you to come into right now is that it's all okay and you can start creating change right from where you are and take all of your power back. You don't need to have certainty. The sun is going to set tonight and the sun is going to rise tomorrow morning. That's pretty much all we need to know. Okay, so some simple strategies for getting back on track within the next 2 weeks are simple, but not easy. That's why we have a Kickstart program. So throughout this broadcast, I'm also going to be talking about our 14-day detox program that I launch a couple times per year. It is an amazing program. People get incredible results, weight loss. We lose inches and inflammation. We cut cravings. We sleep better. We have clearer thought, ability to control our emotions, and our decisions are that much clearer too. So it's a great program. I'm going to include that information throughout this broadcast. And there's going to be a link to the page which describes more, which gives you a chance to register anytime throughout this broadcast or afterwards. And so through the 14-day detox, we have everything outlined for you. So you can take the information that I'm sharing with you today. And if you want to join that program, you can slide right into that. So let's talk about the importance of eating clean and having healthier habits in our lives. So I'm going to use this glass as the example. So the body is like a computer. It takes in information all the time, billions and billions and billions of pieces of information. And through what you put on your skin, what you drink, what you eat, the body is taking in information in terms of what fuel is coming in and how can it use that fuel to go to work to help you build your nutrition, to help all of your systems function the way that they should, to give you a sense of ease, to calm your central nervous system. All that information comes in. Say it's coming in through the form of what you're eating. Say, for example, your body recognizes what was designed as fuel for your body, which is the things that were roaming the land or in the land, things that were swimming in the seas or growing in the seas, and the things that were on our trees. So if you go back to the beginning of time, the human body was fueled by plants and animals, basically. Super simple. Your body, which is a computer, which is the only computer and only body you're going to have for your entire one existence here on planet Earth, is brilliant. It knows exactly what to do. And what it does is it takes that information through what you're eating and drinking you put on your skin, and it runs it through a program. Do I recognize this? Can I put it to work somewhere to have optional system function? And if the answer is yes, great. It gets processed, it gets digested, it gets absorbed, great things happen. Cells replicate, your body gets cleaned, your blood gets cleaned, you're able to rebuild cells, you can build muscle and tissue and have wonderful circulatory system, a very high immune system, all as well. If instead things are coming in that aren't recognized because it wasn't designed as fuel for your body, such as pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, GMOs, too much sugar, caffeine, sometimes too much alcohol. When your body is processing that, it will go through its normal loop cycle. Do I recognize it? If yes, then go to work. If it comes in, the body doesn't recognize it, it has to do something with it until it can figure out where it can go. And so think of it as, if you have a Mac computer, as I do, think of that spiraling or spinning kaleidoscope that we see, and like, oh, darn, something's wrong. That's what happens in the body too. So your body goes into the spin cycle trying to figure out what to do with these toxins that are coming in. And so I'll use this glass as the example. So over time, what happens is your body's brilliant. It stores these toxins in brown cells, fat brown cells, and tucks them away into the connective tissue layers of your body. So over time, all of this starts to get more and more and more and more and more full, and then you start to get symptoms. So it's just so important to eat cleanly and drink clean water and put healthy products on our skin, because your body's absorbing it and it is trying to make sense of whether or not it can use that for good in your body, or if it's going to be disruptive to your health and your energy, like many of us are feeling right now. So lots of folks are off with their eating, as we talked about, they're off with their sleeping. And then the body just has to work a little bit harder. So if you can take control of what you're eating, that is a fantastic place to start. And in terms of what to eat, let's just keep it real. Eat real food in its most basic, natural form. And so that can be mostly plants, primarily a plant-based diet, vegetables, fruits, whole natural grains, nuts and seeds, fish. And a little bit of meat, chicken and turkey and fish, as I mentioned. The body knows exactly what to do with that nutrition. It's so simple. Where it gets complicated, and my friend Joel always jokes with me when I do this, but where it gets complicated is when a food turns into a processed food. So if you're wheat and you're waving in a field, everything is fine. You have your bran layer, it's growing in the sunshine, it's fantastic. If you cut that into a billion little pieces and it's now a flour, it's fine. That's still a whole grain because it has that fiber layer. But if you strip that bran layer off and then you bleach it to make white flour products, you've stripped the nutrition, and there's no There's no bran layer so that things come in really, really fast in terms of sugars and it disrupts your health. So I'm not going to get too deep into the science, but a whole grain is a grain that still has its fiber. It's still nutrient dense. So eat real food, mostly plants. Is a great way to think of this. Michael Pollan's written a tremendous book. Dr. Mark Hyman speaks about this as well. There's a ton of people that do. Those are some folks that I follow. Eat foods with live energy. So many of us are so tired right now. Yes, because of the stress, the change, the uncertainty, but also the frequency of the food that we're eating is so low. It's destroyed because it has so many chemicals and it's been processed. It has extra sugar and it has artificial dyes and colorings. It's been amazing to talk with folks about how much candy they're consuming right now. Maybe it was because of the Easter holiday that some people celebrate, or maybe it's just that sense of, I just need a quick treat to get myself back on track. It'll make things seem that much easier right now to take a little flavor vacation, as we say. But if you can think of energy as something that you consume, so we get energy from the sun, we get energy from the water that we're drinking, and we get energy from the foods that we're eating. So if you can eat live food, so if you can eat vegetables and fruits and salads and juices and hummus and black bean dip, or just things that haven't been cooked and processed and have loads of chemicals in them, that's even better. A full diet of that doesn't work for everybody. A raw food diet is fantastic for some, but if you are like me and you do some cooking, even eating those vegetables cooked or steamed or sauteed or roasted is a fantastic way to get that live energy into your body. So yes, it helps fuel your body, but it also gives you the boost of energy that you need. A lot of folks are starting the day feeling like they need a quick jolt of coffee. I know several folks that don't have coffee before don't get up until they've had their coffee. And there's no judgment. I'm not in the coffee club. I don't judge you. Your habits are your habits. But what happens, unfortunately, is that your body starts to rely on that caffeine kick first thing in the morning, and caffeine causes hysteria. And so the body is doing all of these crazy things to put out the emergency of the caffeine, which further exhausts you. And then folks typically need sugar to jack back up their energy so they can get through the day until they can have another cup of coffee or maybe a diet soda in the afternoon or some more sugar in the afternoon to boost that energy. I want to give you a different trick. I would love for you to start the day with a full glass of water. This is empty right now, but start the day with a full glass of water before you do anything else, and take in that live energy. Flush, take a shower on the inside of your body and flush, anything out. Oh, just hold on just 1 second. What was I talking about? Water. Okay, so water. If you could just take a glass of water, what will happen is you will rehydrate the body. You've lost so much water throughout the evening, and your body needs that in order to do any of its jobs and for you to function well. So drink some water. That will give you the energy that you need, but it also has that live energy in it, so your body can put it to good work. So we talked about what toxins are. Why 14 days? So a little bit about the detox now. 14 days is a great time to reset. It gives you a chance to come face to face with some of your habits, and it will help you kill your sugar cravings, or maybe it's your craving for alcohol, which is also sugar, or maybe the junk food. If 14 days creates this mindfulness around what your habits are and how you are going into the default. I call it the default. Like, we don't think about reaching for the M&Ms. We don't think about how many potato chips we're having if we have the whole bag in front of us. But when you take those things out of your diet for 14 days and you realize that you're in a Kickstart program where there's some really good support, you start realizing that I don't need to do that. I'm mindlessly reaching for those things. It's not serving my health. I don't feel good. I feel sluggish. I feel like I'm putting on weight. And I don't want to feel that way. So 14 days is a great time to really have a good solid structure, to break some habits and start implementing some other habits. So it's a quick start program. What you do after the detox matters too, because you don't just want to fall back into your default habits. So we give you some support and some strategies for maintaining those results after the program. And so on the 14-day detox, what you'll be eating is real food. There's a shopping list, there's menus, there's recipes. It's all laid out with a schedule of what to have on what days. Talks about what kind of water you'll be drinking. It's really crafted to help you stop the spin of where you're at, be supported, have a very specific structure that you don't have to worry about or think about. So many times people say to me, like, if I just didn't have to eat, or if I just didn't have access to so much food, that's really disempowering. I mean, you're going to be eating for the rest of your life, and I understand, and I'm not judging you for it. I just know that I love food. I can't imagine not eating. I absolutely love it. And so for me, it's just important that people understand food's not the issue. It's our habits around food. As I've mentioned a couple times, the body's brilliant. It knows exactly what to do with real food. We just don't give it enough opportunity. So what this program is designed to do is take all of the guesswork out of this. Everything is here for you, including some group calls to support you. So a little bit more about what you'll be eating, or if you're to do this on your own, what you want to integrate. You really want to try best you can to eat those vegetables and fruits that have a little bit less sugar, and organic if you can afford it, because there are so many pesticides, herbicides, fungicides on all of the produce that we have access to. But you'll be eating berries, vegetables. If you can have whole gluten-free grains, fantastic. If you can just have whole grains like oatmeal and quinoa, which is technically a seed, nuts, seeds, eggs, dairy alternatives. Don't get me started on dairy. This is the most controversial thing that I talk about. Usually people get pretty upset about this, but there's a whole bunch of great reasons why milk is good for baby calves. There's a whole bunch of good science and reason why it's not as favorable for those of us that are not baby cows. And so I'm not going to go there right now, but if you want to know, please ask me in the chat and I will follow up as we're finishing up. So we do dairy alternatives like almond milk or coconut milk, flax milk, oat milk. Those are a great way to stay on track with healthy habits and not disrupt the body with the extra hormones and extra sugars and antibiotics from the cows. You will be able to have a little bit of sugar through the form of maple syrup and fruits, as I talked about. And the recipes are really, really interesting. So we went with some recipes that are a little bit out of the box. They're not hard to do. They're not hard to get access to the ingredients right now. It just, if you're going to take the time to do a 14-day program, maybe you want to integrate some additional recipes just to spice up the flavors and to get yourself out of the leftover routine that you've probably been in for the last month and a half or so. So what you won't be eating, or what is pretty disruptive right now for your health if you're trying to be on track, is caffeine, too much sugar, alcohol, red meat. So those aren't incorporated into the program. As we talked about earlier, caffeine is really disruptive to the body, as is too much sugar. There's an all-out hysteria emergency when the body is trying to recover from too much of those. I know a lot of folks are really relying on alcohol right now to feel calmer at the end of the day, to process the day, to have an end of the day, because everything is just, every minute seems like Groundhog Day. And there's nothing wrong with that, except that if you're starting to realize that you'd like a little distance from that habit, this is a fantastic way to do it, because there is no alcohol in this program. And we support you through that. We don't have red meat during the 14-day detox. And if you are trying to get right back on track with a reset for 14 days, even without a detox, I encourage you to cut red meat out for that time frame, because I'll call it a dense fiber. And depending on where you're getting your meat from and the quality of the meat, it can be disruptive to the body. It's really, really hard for some folks to digest. And what ends up by happening is it sets in the gut a little bit longer than it needs to, which can cause fermentation, and it can cause a disruption to our digestive process, which takes a lot of energy. So for these 14 days, or if you're doing it on your own, you just want to set that aside for a little while. As part of the 14-day detox program that I offer, we also take 5 supplements. And the purpose of those supplements is to balance your blood sugar. It is to do a deep cleaning and clean out all of the gungus that's accumulating in your liver from too much sugar or too much alcohol, the gallbladder with a lot of fatty foods that people are consuming a little bit more of right now through packaged foods. It cleans your blood, it gives you more energy, it helps you digest the food that you are eating so your body can naturally absorb that nutrition and put it to good use in the body. So there's just 5 supplements that we have as a part of this program. And if you are already on the 14-day detox page on my website, you can do a lot more reading about it there. And there's a place to register and we'll ship everything to you. What's nice about being virtual is that I'm able to get everything shipped to my house and then I'm able to send it out to folks. So no worries there. One of the questions that folks have asked us is, how will I know when to take the supplements? I'll go back to that calendar. Actually, I'll show you a copy of it. We have a calendar which outlines what to take, when to take it, and how much to take. So we take all of the guesswork out of having to do this on your own. So it's set up with a lot of precision. This has been fine-tuned over the past 13 years. But from day 1 through day 14 and beyond, there's a very specific schedule of what supplements to take, when to take them, and what you're eating on those days. So it's pretty well laid out. What's amazing about the results are men definitely lose more weight, which can be annoying for women, but let's just give them that because everyone has goals and it's fantastic for everyone to reach their goals. Women lose more inches. So we lose a lot of that inflammation in our faces. You'll notice it in your face first, but you can lose up to a pant or dress size. And I don't just talk about this for weight loss. I know folks have some strong beliefs around their weight, and I don't want you to shame yourself where you're at. I don't want you to feel like I am. Whatever weight you're at is fantastic, but if you don't feel good in the body that you're in, whether it's a body image issue or you just don't have the energy or you're not fitting into the clothes the way that you want, no judgment. It is just a fantastic way to lose the inflammation, which is causing a lot of other issues in our health, including suppressing our immune system, which we really want to keep as high as we can right now. So it isn't just about weight loss. I hope you'll understand what I'm trying to convey here. It's really about overall health and wellness. It also helps improve your sleep. So much of our sleep is disrupted because of worry, but also because the body is trying to process all this stuff in excess that it's not used to getting, or maybe it is used to getting it and it's just tired of it with everything else that's coming in terms of additional thought, additional stress, additional worry. The body said enough is enough. And so there has to be more time to process what's going on in the body, and it's making it harder and harder to fall asleep or to stay asleep. So something like this can be a great way to get on track with your sleep as well. How can you be most successful? What I want to do is let me go back to sharing a couple of other success strategies for just resetting your health within 2 weeks. We talked a little bit about water, and on the detox, you will be drinking a specific kind of water as well. But a lot of folks have low energy because they are dehydrated. So every system in your body needs water in order to function well. And if it isn't getting its water, it's going to borrow it from your colon. It's going to borrow it from other places within the body. Like your mouth can get dry, your eyes can get dry. We need water and we need healthy fats and oils. So if you're not getting enough, you will have lower energy and you may start to feel some symptoms. When your body can consume half its body weight in ounces per day. So if you're 200 pounds, you would want to drink about 100 ounces. And this is a generalization. So please check with your healthcare provider. As you know, I'm not a physician. I have a lot of experience, personal and professional, in training, but I would always have you check with your physician with regard to if you have a health condition around this. But generally, we need about half our body weight in ounces of water per day to fuel every system and function of the body. If you can drink that gradually throughout the day, that's fantastic. I always start my day with a tall glass of water so that I can flush everything out and give my body the rehydration that it needs from what I've lost overnight. But then it's even been hard for me these last couple of weeks, but I'm feeling like I'm much better on track right now to drink it gradually throughout the day. So I fill this water bottle a couple of times, and that gives me what I need. And having a water bottle with you is a fantastic way. A lot of us have just gotten away from that right now because we're out of our routine. Bring back the water bottle. Bring back a healthy water bottle, and make sure you're consuming half your body weight in ounces. One thing that we don't do enough of is chew our food. I know that might sound a little ridiculous, but if you think about your stomach as a swimming pool and a meteor falling from the sky and into your swimming pool, there would be a huge disruption. Things would break. There would be a ginormous splash. It would be incredibly disruptive to your backyard and your swimming pool. Think of food. So the digestive process starts actually when we're thinking of food. You know how you can sometimes think about food and then you start to crave it and then you have to have it, and your mouth starts to water, and then you smell food and then your mouth starts to water again. That's the digestive process in action. And so when you are thinking about food, that sets your body up. Your mouth starts to salivate, which is fantastic. That starts the enzyme production in your stomach to help break the food down when it arrives. But if you're missing that middle stage, which is chewing so that your food is as close to liquid as you can, you're giving your body a ton to do in terms of breaking down that massive piece of food once it hits the stomach. But you've also disrupted the natural flow of chemicals and enzyme release because you haven't given your body enough time for that to kick in. So when you're eating, slow down, pause, chew your food to liquid, savor the taste and the flavor. A lot of folks are eating too much because they don't spend the time tasting what they're eating, so they feel like they need more of it. And this used to be me with peanut M&Ms before I knew I needed to be gluten-free, and I had all of these food sensitivities to the dyes in the coloring in M&Ms. I would have handfuls of them before I actually even tasted them. So slow down and enjoy them, savor it, borrow a page from the French playbook to just savor every morsel of what you're eating. That gives your body a chance to trigger the release of enzymes in your stomach to help break that food down. So chew your food, move your body. It's interesting because folks aren't going to the gym right now, and some folks are doing home workouts, some aren't. I'm doing a modified version, and I've gotten into a pretty good routine. You could do a 7-minute workout in the morning just to get your body going. There's a lot of science around what working out in the morning does for you in terms of health benefits, but don't rely on that right now. Get your workout in whenever you can, and it doesn't have to be arduous. You could run up and down the stairs for 7 minutes, and that's a fantastic way to get your cardio. There's resistance training in that. And it's as strenuous as even a 20-minute run for some folks. So be creative about how you're getting your exercise, but be sure to get your exercise because that helps all of our body systems function optimally, and it helps us shed out old energies as well. So one of the things that's trapped in that glass that I was talking about of all those pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, glyphosate, GMOs, is also emotional debris. This is a time unlike any other. There's a lot of stress. It's triggering a lot of former stress and trauma for folks. And so that emotional debris is sitting in your body as well. So if you can eat healthier food, higher vibrational foods, and exercise, you can start to release some of that emotional toxicity that you're carrying around as well. So that's a fantastic way, and make this 2-week commitment, this 14-day commitment to be all in so that 1, you can feel the pride, 2, you can realize what has been a default habit for you and take your power back so that you're actually creating the life that you want to have and achieve those goals that you have set for yourself or that you're starting to think about setting for yourself. Sleep is so interesting. We've mentioned it a couple times already this morning. It's imperative that we sleep. And if you're not sleeping right now, try not to worry about it. Lots of times we can have fear of not sleeping, which makes it worse. I'm going to do some videos in the next coming weeks about how to get out of our head more and find some ease in our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. I know a lot of that's going on at the end of the day for folks. And so more to follow on that, but a 14-day regimen, which includes a consistent wake time in the morning and a consistent bedtime, is so important. That gives our body a chance to fall into a new habit and just count on it. And when you get into bed, think of it as such a glorious time of day. Try, if you notice the dread coming because you've had some trouble sleeping because you've been thinking too much, think of it as a glorious time. Get as comfortable as you can and count. Do some deep breathing. I invite people in my coaching practice all the time when we're talking about sleep is just to start daydreaming. So much of what we're experiencing in life is perception, and we're trying to solve things without all the variables with regard to this pandemic. We don't have all the variables for this equation. So daydream instead. You're going to be thinking instead of worrying. How about daydream about a vacation you'll take someday, or your ideal relationship, or your ideal career? Um, the other thing that I think is imperative for a 14-day reset is accountability. So have an accountability buddy, write things down, track things, have tracking sheets, have texts with your friends, whatever you can do to be accountable to help you stay on track. That's a really important thing right now, because many of us are working remotely and we don't have the same habits that we've always had, which ironically kept us accountable in many ways. We don't have that anymore. So find other ways to build accountability in. So a little bit more about the 14-day detox. We have that accountability built into our program. So there is a Facebook page. There's also some group calls that we're going to be doing. I already mentioned the calendar, so you'll be able to check each day off and feel really good about having success in that one day. Just do this one day at a time. The process for the 14 days is super simple. You register, we send you some welcome information with some details of dates to put onto your calendar. We have a group detox that's starting on May 18th that goes for 2 weeks, or we can start you whenever you're ready. What's nice about doing the group version is we will have those group sessions set up for you. So you'll register, we'll send you some information on email. We'll also ship out a kit to you that'll arrive at your home. The only thing it doesn't include is your water and your food. But it will have those things that I mentioned before. It'll have the supplements. You will already have the documentation, so you can start reading it before you receive your kit. So that will come out to you. There will also be some regular and natural emails that get sent to you the day that you begin and throughout the program to keep you motivated and excited and accountable. And you'll be on a group call with me 2 or 3 times throughout the program so that you can ask your questions directly. You can ask them in the Facebook group as well, but you can ask them directly. And we can talk about other things too, because what comes up during this detox is, I didn't realize I fill in the blank. I didn't realize I was using food emotionally, and that's triggered something for me. Okay, let's talk that through, because people are going through the same thing. Or I didn't realize I had such strong cravings. Fantastic. That's going to help other folks too. I didn't realize this would cause me to think about my job differently or my relationship differently. That's all fair game. We can talk about any and all of that in that group program. So there's a lot that you get for a relatively small investment compared to one-on-one coaching. So the program is $295 for the full program, which includes everything I've talked about before. And if you join with a friend, you each do it, or each can receive it for $275. So all of the details are out there on the webpage, which has been listed. Let me just make sure I haven't forgotten to share anything with you. Oh, the recipe. So you get 18 pages of recipes for different breakfasts, lunches, dinners, smoothies, soups, snacks. That's an important one. Different dressings and healthy dressings you can make, different exciting salads that you can use now. And again, everything you're learning now, you can take into the new world. You can take into the post 14-day, the post program, we'll call it, after the detox, and just continue on with healthy habits. And there's some other accountability built in after that. But in a nutshell, it's ready-made. I've been rolling this out for folks actively over the last 7 years. But I originally created it about 11 years ago, and folks have just had tremendous success. I do it twice per year. I'm going to do it with you, which I'm really excited about. And it just requires that you be willing to change some habits, and that you're really willing to use this time to be as all in as you can be. It's going to be different for each person. So let me check the scroll here, the feed, and see if there's any questions that are outstanding out there. Hi, Mary Jane. Hi, Irina. I'm so happy to see you. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Colleen. There's the link to the program. Does anyone have any questions? about the program. And if you're getting this as a recording, please email me or post something on Facebook and I can respond. What we've also done, if you're not ready or interested in being a part of a 14-day detox program, we are going to be offering some other coaching type programs other than one-on-one programs. They're going to be groups, and that will be revealed in the next couple of weeks. This is a great quick start. If you want to learn about the other programs that I offer, I think we have in here, I think Stephanie posted, thank you, Stephanie, a link to my calendar where I will jump on the phone with you for a half hour and help you get unstuck with wherever you're feeling stuck, whether that's in your health or your happiness or worry and fear. There's so many great empowering strategies that you can employ right now and start to feel some more ease and comfort. We don't know when things are going to change, but that doesn't mean that you can't change and start integrating the things that you want in your life. Now more than ever, it's time to daydream about what's ideal for you. Don't put that off. We get this one life. So that concludes our live broadcast for today, but I hope that you will join me on the Facebook page and share your questions and thoughts. And I hope you'll register so that I can help you get right back on track with your health and your energy. Have a fantastic day. Be well.